Can you get a non-lucrative visa for Spain with a UK criminal record? How do I find out what's on my record? How long the convictions last? Which ones stop you from getting a visa? What's the difference between ACRO and DBS? Stick around and you'll find out. Welcome to YouTooSpain. Let's dance. Hi, I'm Skatz from YouTooSpain, and with the help of my alter egos, hello, why aye man, cooey, bah, I'm going to answer all of your questions about ACRO. What's an ACRO? It's a police certificate that's specific to the UK and shows your criminal record. Why do I need one of those? Okay, a quick explanation first. If you're a UK passport holder, you're no longer an EU citizen since Brexit. So if you want to move to Spain, you'll need to apply for a visa, like the Non Lucrative Visa, for example. To get one of these, you need to show, amongst other things, that you're not a criminal. Does shooting someone count? Yes. The ACRO police check is the first document you need before you apply for a Spanish visa. I didn't shoot him very hard. I always shoot first, and there's no stain on my character. I thought the police check was called the DBS. That's a slightly different check that can only be applied for by registered employers in parts of the UK, and it covers other non-conviction information as well as criminal convictions. It's to protect vulnerable people. But that's not the police check you need in order to apply for the non-lucrative visa. Do you get the ACRO in other countries as well? Other countries have their own versions of the criminal record check, like the FBI check in the US. But in this video, we'll just talk about the ACRO. How do you apply, sweetie? Have a look on the YouTooSpain.com website. There's an article with the same title as this video on the blog page, and it has all of the additional information you need. I've put a link below. That's very helpful. Thank you, Walter. How long does it take to get a certificate? Usually just a few weeks, especially if it's a no trace. What's one of them like? That means there are no convictions, cautions, reprimands, warnings, or conditional discharges on record for you. That sounds peachy, darling. It is. It's just what the consulate will be looking for in someone wishing to live in Spain. What happens if you've had convictions? Well, there are 4 kinds of certificate. There's no trace, no live trace, trace, and further information stepped down. No live trace, eh? Is that where you shoot them and hide the body? No, Colonel. That means there is a criminal record, but it's been stepped down. What does step down mean? It means they've removed the conviction from the certificate after a certain length of time based on the severity of the crime. Will it stop me getting a visa? It's unlikely you'll have a problem purely based on a no live trace. The authorities are more concerned with stopping people who've committed more serious crimes, especially the ones involving violence. And those kind of crimes don't tend to get stepped down very quickly. What happens if there's a trace certificate? That means there is a criminal record and all of the information has been disclosed. You can't prove it! I have an alibi! The 4th kind of certificate says further information stepped down, which is where there is a criminal record, but only relevant information appears on the certificate because some information has been stepped down. Can you still get a visa with that one? Well, if you get one of those or the trace certificate, it's likely your visa application will be refused. They'll never trace me! I'll go on the run! Do I need a lawyer? Calm down, Colonel, and take your medication. Shall I read him a bedtime story? Might work. Hey, can I check me ACRO a few months in advance, just in case? I didn't want to spend months planning a move if I'm gonna be blocked like. You can do. It costs about £55 to get the check done. Just remember that the certificate needs to be dated less than 6 months before your application date. So if you do it too early, you'll need to get a new copy. Isn't there a cheaper way to find out? I'm a little short at the moment. You can do what's called a subject access request, or SAR, which should show up any possible convictions. Oh, what a relief. How do I do that, sweetie? Have a look in the video description below, or the ACRO website's home homepage and you'll find the email address to write to. Can you get convictions removed from your ACRO? Well, if you think there's a conviction that shouldn't be there...
Really?
You can appeal for it to be taken off.
Like a shooting?
Not all offences can be removed, Colonel. They can if they're imaginary.
That's my alibi and I'm sticking to it.
I'd better put the email address below for you, just in case, Colonel.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Yes, before you send off your ACRO to the consulate, it needs to be apostilled with the Hague stamp and translated by an officially registered Spanish translator. Oh dear, where do I find out how to do all that? I need to get it done quickly. There's a link below to our favourite apostille company who can get it done in a jiffy, including the translation. And I've put a link to the Spanish government's official translators list as well. Thanks, canny lad. Any more questions? Millions. Then you and the watchers can ask in the comments below on YouTube. Or we can ask the experts live on Saturday mornings. Yes, you can. One more thing.
What?
Peace and love. Peas and fluff. Why, aye, man. Keep your pecker up.
Bah.
Let's dance.